Hi,
Oh,
everybody. This is Emily from Signpost Destinations. Guys, the wait is over and it's finally time for our virtual vacation. And I have my friend Markham here. He's going to speak to us a little bit this week and give us some really great insight about the Florida Keys. So without further ado, let me introduce to you guys Markham. Markham, thank you so much for joining us.
you're welcome. Great to be here. Thank you.
So would you mind telling everybody, what is it that you do and who do you work for? Things like that.
Yep. I work for the essentially the DMO, the TDC, the Tourism Board, whatever you want to say, here in Key West in our main offices, and we are charged with spreading the word about the Keys and Key West to not only the U.S. but the world, really. So that's what we do. That's what I do.
Awesome. I know we've spoken a little bit. I know you've traveled around. You travel and kind of give presentations to help kind of spread awareness about the Keys.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
cool.
Do a lot of shows, a lot of big, convention, trade shows, consumer shows, meet a lot of people, usually.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get back to doing that soon because we're all, cooped up here like everybody else. But so I think it'll happen.
Good. And yeah, actually, I think that's where I met you. You had done a presentation I'm trying to remember exactly which it was, but you had done a presentation for the travel agents, Delta
Right.
Vacations, that's what it was. And that's where I first met you back.
Love those guys. Yep.
Did we ever figure out when that was? That was like
Dozens ago. Countless webinars ago.
Right.
It was a while ago.
Right.
So, yeah.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about the Keys collectively? Where are they geographically? How do you get there? Things like that.
Yeah. No problem. Well, so off the southern sort of rounded part of Florida, which we call the peninsula, that sticks all the way down where Miami is on one side and Naples on the other, you'll see this chain of islands that's sort of this being Miami, and the islands string out an archipelago, I guess, of coral islands that are highly unique to not only Florida, but the world, really. So it's pretty easy to get here. We have a lot of direct flights now into our little tiny airport in Key West. From hubs, you wouldn't really think offhand. You can get here direct from Chicago now, straight flight in. Philly, Newark, Dallas, Atlanta. I mean, it's pretty crazy. In fact, not too long ago, you'd have to connect at least once or twice to get here. And now the planes are much larger, more comfortable. And the airport was upgraded. And so it's still small and quaint. It's probably the smallest airport you'll fly into, typically, but you can get here a lot more easily. So
honestly, Key West Airport is probably my favorite airport. I haven't been to many airports where there's like a lovely little bar right in the airport like that.
As soon as you walk in.
So great.
That's
You're
right. Priorities.
The water. Oh, yeah. It's so beautiful.
Priorities, man. Priorities. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another popular way, not to interrupt, I'm sorry, but another way is to fly to Miami, of course, which is hugely popular and easier. Well, not easier, but some folks want to do the drive, which is about 3.5 hours from the Miami airport, just so people are aware each way. But it's a pretty spectacular drive down the highway. And, because you're essentially going over 42 bridges, I think, and hopscotching over these islands. So the views are pretty crazy. So pay attention to the road because it's really easy to go, wow, this is incredible. And so people do like to do that drive. So that's about 3.5 hours from Miami airport with good traffic to Key West. Yeah.
I know that's kind of what our virtual vacation will be. We'll be starting in the north and kind of heading down each day. Right. We're going to be stopping and checking out each key. And Perfect. Actually, my family's coming down for real. We're actually driving from Michigan nice. In the spring. It's 1,600 miles. It's going to be 25 hours straight, and we're going to stop and do the whole drive all the way down. So.
Yeah, you're going to go straight through.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun adventure.
Michiganders, man, they're just like, all right, let's go. Very good. Yep.
Good. Yeah. So when would you say are like the really optimal times? Are there better times of the year to visit the Keys?
I mean, I shouldn't say this, but probably. It's definitely hotter, much hotter in the summer, but the rates are lower. So there's that. Typically this time of year in September and early October, we would have a lot of European business here and visitors. We have none, of course. However, we've seen a big uptick in drive down visitors. So we haven't fallen off that much. It's, knock on wood. But I would say a really excellent time to come here is anytime between, December and April. The weather cools off relatively. It can be still pretty warm in December, frankly. We have a lot of Christmases where we spend with the air conditioners cranking. It's kind of strange on Christmas Day, but it can be warm, but it can also be cool. It's a weird month. Yeah. So, but anytime, but up until the end of April, the weather is really nice. The humidity is low. And obviously the rates that's our high season. So everything's kind of packed and
Right.
top rate at that point.
Right.
So yeah, but now's nice, good value, good time to come now. There's people in town right now.
Right.
So
Good. Now, what would you say are your top couple things, 2, 3 things that are can't miss things to do in the Keys?
okay.
Can
So
you pick just 3?
yeah, boy, that's a tough one. I mean, obviously the water. We're essentially a county that's surrounded by water with a little bit of land sticking through it. And it's people don't realize that this is Monroe County, where the Keys are. And for me to drive in the county from one end to the other takes about 2.5 hours. So it's a long, string of islands. It's like driving through a county in Texas, which some of those can be really long. But the water for sure, we have the only living coral reef, similar to the Great Barrier Reef, and some of the coral, and you'll see in the Bahamas. We have the only one here that mirrors the Keys. And so it's really special, even by Florida standards. You won't find it elsewhere in Florida. So definitely get out to the reef, number one. And that's a few miles offshore, and there's plenty of boats from any area of the Keys to get you out there. Scuba and snorkel. Second big draw, obviously the laid back, Keys kind of thing, Key West. Number 2 would be the old town architecture and the funky bars and just the fun kind of atmosphere in Key West. It's super chill and laid back and different, than other vacation spots, I think. And, fishing is huge, deep sea and flats fishing. Really, really big. So, things to do. I would definitely center it around the water and maybe having a margarita somewhere.
Nice, good.
Top 3.
Sounds perfect to me. I'm down.
Exactly. So,
Okay.
yep.
So, can you tell us a little bit about the Keys and COVID, what it's been like the last couple months, and what the Keys are doing to kind of keep visitors and also your residents safe right now?
Right. I'm sorry, what's COVID?
Right.
Okay. I will say this. We've been exceptionally lucky in the Keys in Monroe County, period, because we're just so cut off. It's a little remote. I think it's harder for things to jump from key to key here. I don't know how to explain it, but we've had a very low incidence of COVID here. I think we've had a total of 1,800 cases.
Wow.
Since March.
Wow.
And maybe under 20 deaths, and currently there's 0 hospitalizations. So it's definitely tapered off down here, and I don't know how to describe that because our road has been open, and so you would imagine that it would make its way down here once we reopened in June, but it really didn't happen. And there's a lot that the lodging industry is doing here to keep, like everywhere, but I was in some hotels doing some inspections last week up the Keys, and it's really, everybody's on their game. The rooms are, sanitized, obviously, probably more than they really need to be. So I had 0 apprehension going into any of those properties. There's that. And, the county does have a mask mandate while you're inside of an enclosed space. It's common sense stuff, though. Nothing that you wouldn't run into anywhere else. Except when you're out walking around and you're, not right on top of people, you don't have to wear a mask in the Keys. You do when you walk into a restaurant like everywhere else, but you can take it off while you're at your table and have your drinks and food like kind of normal. Mm-hmm. So I think that's similar to pretty much everywhere. Entering and exiting a restaurant, you put it on. But again, it's just common sense stuff that we're all kind of doing. But other than that, you can have a pretty normal vacation here and not really feel like you're under a COVID, watch, so.
Well, it's so nice to hear. It's nice to hear that, you're keeping everybody safe. And it's, kind of a contrast too. People want to go to Europe or they want to go to the Caribbean, and a lot of those places are still closed. So it's nice to hear that they can still go get sun and sand and still, feel safe while doing it. So that's
Totally.
really nice to hear. That's good. And
Yeah.
then one other question I was just thinking of too, there being a travel advisor, I've heard some chatter about the Key West particularly maybe changing some of their rules about cruises when cruises resume. Is there any do you have any information about that, or any insight about what would be happening when cruises resume and with Key West being a port?
I do. I'm very well aware of that. We are part of the county. We operate under the Monroe County government, I guess, for our tourism board here. It's bed tax funded. We're not a CVB. We don't. The city of Key West regulates the cruise industry that visit here. So we, as an agency, don't have really a say in that stuff. We don't promote cruises, but I will say this. From what I know, it's on the ballot this year to possibly limit the sizes that visit here of the ships, as well as the total number of people that can get off at any given time. And a third one around sort of environmental concerns about ships. So there's something on the ballot that was put on by some local folks here in Key West, and we'll see what happens. Right now nobody's sailing.
Right.
But at the end of this month, the 30th, I guess, or 31st of October,
Right.
The suspension or the pause in cruises expires, and I understand they're booked already, so they will be calling here. But there could be some changes in Key West. You may want to just refer to your travel advisor when it comes time, or the website, our website, fla-keys.com. for information. I hope that answers. That's kind of a long answer, but there is something we don't know. It's happening right now.
Everything's kind of up in the air right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I think about people going to the Keys, there's people that come specifically for the Keys. There's people who try to avoid it because sometimes Key West can get very crowded when those cruise ships are in. And then there's also people who enjoy seeing Key West from a cruise ship. So it's just kind of striking that balance of keeping everybody happy. So.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's a quality of life thing, they say. And we do have periods when there's several giant ships in at one time, and it's a very small, it's a 2 by 4 mile island. It does get a little bit crazy. So yeah, I mean, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. We'll see what happens. So that'll be November 3rd. So
right.
We'll find out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And guys, let's thank Markham so much for being here. And we will see you tomorrow then, and we will discuss our very first day. Our first stop is going to be Key Largo. So we'll catch you guys later. Bye. Hey everybody, I'm here to tell you guys a little bit more about the Florida Keys. I've actually attached a few videos that Markham and I were discussing in the last video, just to give you guys a little bit more information, a little more insight about the Florida Keys. So let me share this with you, and I hope you enjoy this one.
The ultimate destination isn't the end of the journey. It's the moments you cherish along the way. slow down in the Florida Keys and Key West. Here in the Florida Keys, we're doing our best to keep guests and residents safe from COVID-19. Here's how you can help. Please respect each other and wear masks in public places. Please don't gather in large groups and maintain 6 feet of separation. Take 20 seconds and wash your hands with soap and water or use hand sanitizer. Enjoy the Florida Keys and stay safe. For more details, go to flakeys.com. With so many different places to stay in the Florida Keys, make sure to pack enough for a few extra days. And you're sure to find the perfect spot to leave your other baggage behind. The Florida Keys and Key West.
Anyways, thanks guys so much for joining us today, as I had my friend Markham there to join us and give us some great information about the Florida Keys. And several of those places that we just saw in that video we'll be discussing this week. Make sure you tune in. So tomorrow, our day 1 of our stop, we're going to be in Key Largo. Day 2, we're going to be in Isla Morada. Day 3, we will be in Marathon. Day 4, we're going to be exploring the natural keys, and day 5 will be in Key West. So make sure you stay tuned for each of those days, and lots of great information coming at you. Really great recommendations from Markham himself about wonderful places to eat and things to see and do while you're in the Keys. And also stay tuned. Make sure that you are here on Saturday live in our Facebook group, as we will be giving away to one very special person a fresh key lime pie from Kermit's down in Key West. Not your run-of-the-mill namby-pamby grocery store key lime pie, fresh key lime pie straight from Key West that I will personally be shipping to the winner. So, all right, guys, I hope you guys had so much fun, and I hope you're inspired to go see the Keys. And we'll see you tomorrow.